So to make our rich text editor as reusable as possible, we want it to be as self-contained as possible. And what I'm going to do is all you need to do to use a rich text editor is go ahead and put in a single div tag that's of class RTE box. And then I'm going to have a script function that finds all the RTE boxes on a page and creates a new rich text editor object for each one. And it's going to pass in the box that's becoming a rich text edit box, and it's going to pass in a callback function when the user submits their changes. So let's go ahead and start by creating a new JavaScript file, and I'm going to save this as in my RTE folder under htdocs. I'm going to save this as RichTextEditor.js, and I'm going to define a class constructor for RichTextEdit. So function RichTextEditor, and it's going to take two parameters. It's going to take a parent, which is going to be the DOM document object model rich text box. Basically, it's going to be this thing right here is going to be the first parameter. And then the second thing is going to be a callback function. And to start out, I'm just going to create an edit button that's going to be on my rich text edit box, and an editor pane, which is going to be editable. So the edit button is going to be a new div tag, and the inner HTML is just going to be edit. And then to link that up to my style sheet, I'm going to call that edit button, make the class name edit button. And that will cause it to inherit the style from the CSS. Let's go ahead and test that out. So in order to test it out, what I'm going to do is create a script. And it's going to have an init function. And I'm going to get my boxes. So I'm going to get all of the RTE boxes. And then boxes dot for each. I'm going to run a function on each box. And what that function is going to do is we'll just go ahead and create a new rich text editor, and we'll pass in the box. And for now, I'll just pass in an empty callback function, just as a placeholder for later on. Then, when the body is finished loading, I'm going to call my init function. And to see that something's actually happened, I'm going to append my edit button to the box. Okay, so I probably have an error. Nope, no error. Oh, I forgot to load my JavaScript. Now let's try it. Okay, still no error. Let's look under sources. Let's see if we're getting here. Okay, so we're not getting here at all. So let's go to our HTML and see what we get for boxes. Okay, so we're not getting here at all either. Oh, I forgot to close off my script tag again. Okay. I tend to do that a lot, actually. So now let's try it. All right, so get rid of those breakpoints and continue. So we have a error here. Undefined is not a function. Well, let's go ahead and put the breakpoint there, hover over boxes. Oh, so document.getElements by class name returns an HTML collection, not an array. And arrays have for each methods, but unfortunately HTML collections don't. So instead of using for each, we have to actually either turn this into an array, which is a waste, or just loop through it. So let's go ahead and loop through it instead. So for var I equals 0, I less than boxes dot length I plus plus, we'll create a new RichTextEdit box and end the for loop. Okay, so let's try it now. So now boxes is still an HTML collection. Okay. So now we have boxes not defined because I forgot to do that part. So we'll say boxes sub I. Get rid of the breakpoint. Great, so now we have our little edit thing, and when you hover over it, it changes color. So let's go ahead and do the editor part. So an editor is also going to be a new div tag. And the class name is going to be edit box. And we're going to have to fiddle with the size to make it fit inside of our rich text editor. But for now, let's just go ahead and append one of those in there too. And the style I have uses white smoke for the edit box. So we should be able to tell the difference if it's there. So let's go ahead and hit reload. And we'll go ahead and put a breakpoint there. So yeah, we have an edit box. But you'll notice that that you don't actually see anything. And the reason you don't see anything is because it's a little tiny thing right up here. It's got empty content, so it doesn't actually appear. What we want to do is set the size so that it matches the entire area of our rich text edit box. So let's go ahead and set some size properties for this thing. So first, let's set the top equal to the parent's top. And we'll set the left equal to the parent's left. And don't worry if this is a little obscure because we'll be talking about the document object model pretty soon. And then I'm going to set the width equal to the parent client width, and the height equal to the parent client height. So now that it's resized, let's go ahead and inspect element and see what we have. So we have our top level RTE box, we have our edit button, and we have an edit box, but it's still 0 by 0 pixels. So I probably got the 0 by 0 pixels, so I probably got the width and height wrong. Yeah, so here's something that's a little odd about setting style information. This doesn't actually take a number, it takes a string like 100 pixels. So believe it or not, to fix this I have to say plus px and plus px. Great, now so we see the white smoke in the box and it exactly fits. So you'll see 400 pixels by 600 pixels and everything looks good there.